All right, this is our 1968 L78 Camaro, 396, 375 horse, nicely documented car. Dual protector plates on this car, plus we have some ownership history and some docs from the previous owners of this car. It is a CE warranty replacement block in this car. Other than that, the car is correct, the numbers matching, down to the finishes and everything else that's been done with it. I'm going to point out a lot of the goods. I'm also going to point out some of the areas where people would say it's not a perfect car. I don't know perfect cars, but this car is very nice and very close. The fit and finish and paint on this car are excellent. Some of the chrome has some little minor spots in it. It's not perfect. It's also not Chinese or reproduction chrome. When we look in this car, when I bought this car, I said to myself, this is the single nicest Camaro engine compartment I've ever seen in my life. All well done. Correctly stamped, firewall stampings on the brake booster, 396, 375 horse, and even the smog equipment is in this car as new. The correct GM, glass washer bottle, correctly stamped hoses, correct top battery. Everything in the car presents itself exactly as it should. Nice mat under the hood. This is a wonderful running and driving solid axle car. As we walk around, just again a couple of the minor issues. The windshield trim was not replaced, it was probably buffed. It does have some minor scratches, as do the door tops. This is a nice mix of reproduction and original, but the original, where it's important, has been done properly. As we walk around, no marks, no issues in this paint. Get to the back window. This is an original black back glass. It does have light scratching in it. Fit and finish back here is all excellent. I did notice that there are some minor, just some very minor clear pops in the back of the spoiler. And again, I'm being hypercritical. This car is better than General Motors ever made it when it was new. As we continue to walk around, nice set of red line tires on the car and rally wheels as it's supposed to be. Correct, well done. In the window, you're going to see some of the documents. You're going to see copies of the 2 sets of protecto plates that we have, the NCRS shipper reports, one of the original purchase agreements. This one's from August 23rd of 1968. We had talked a little bit, I had spoken a little bit on the phone with you about the door fit. I believe this will come in. It's probably a 1/4 to an 1/8 inch proud, but I believe there's enough adjustment in that door that should be able to be pulled in. We just haven't gotten to it yet. So we continue to walk around the stuff that's in the window of this car. 3 CE engine, 4-speed, 12-bolt posi rear engine, posi rear axle, power disc brakes, walnut steering wheel, smog equipment, British green. Very rare factory bench seat. It's got an armrest in the center and it's kind of cool. Front and rear bumper guards and spoilers, GM seat belts, rally wheels, documented with 2 protecto plates, and we have a title with documented miles from the original owner. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and fire the beast up. Just a quick turn of the key. She lumps right in and ready to go. Grab reverse, no power steering in this car. It is Armstrong steering, doesn't bother me in the least. Click it in the first gear. No console in this car, it's kind of neat to have the stick. Walnut wheel, dashboard, everything done very nicely in this car. Add-on gauges, add-on Stewart Warners underneath. Let the clutch out in first gear, and we're on our way. And second, directionals work. Power brakes are very strong in this car. Matter of fact, for some of our guys a little too strong, they have a little bit of a hard time getting used to them. Car really hasn't been warmed up today, but we're going to go out on 57 and take it up to speed a little bit. I really don't like winding the heck out of these cars, so we'll exercise it a little, but not too much. That's about 4,500 RPMs. Red line said at the tech at 6,000. I'm really not going there in a car this nice. About 50 miles an hour, fourth gear, 2,000 RPMs, lumbering along. Coming up to our right-hand turn in the end of our video. Car stops very true, no hands, got foot on the brake. We're all good. No weird shapes, no weird anything. All right. So just as a footnote for docs that come with this 68 L78 car, here's the original Protecto plate from 8/23/68. We've done some decoding on this and the car is absolutely correct. That's the first one. In here is the second Protecto plate, which is not dated, but still outlines the same information on the car. We've got a bunch of registrations from Virginia, 76, 77, 78. There's a lot of them. Here's a letter that I had spoken about from my old used car manager years and years ago from 2011, talking about remembering when it was his car. It was a 68 396, 375 horse, solid lifter, solid cam, solid lifter car with a Muncie 4-speed and a bench seat, just as the car was built originally. That's his letter pining about when he owned the car. More Virginia, here's a Virginia registration from 68, more docs. Here's an original purchase agreement from September 2nd, 1968. As we go through here, there's a lot of receipts in here, but there are also a lot of registrations, 71, 79, just a lot of docs in here. Florida registration from, don't know what year it is, but this is later, 2012. Here's when the car was sold in January of 69 as a used car, and that's where the second Protecto plate comes from. A letter from Chevrolet with an enclosure, and then just a lot of receipts, a lot of stuff that was put into the car as the car was restored. It's just a nice old car. As a footnote, as we were going around this car, one thing I forgot earlier, everything's laser straight on this car. And again, being hypercritical, because I'm just a pain in the butt about cars. When I look down the doors on this car, they got just a little bit of washboard in them that the fenders do not have. I think it was pretty typical. I've got a real original 68 Camaro convertible. They look like that. But in today's day and age, when everybody expects these old cars to look like the cars that are made in 2016, it just doesn't happen that way. There's a little bit of character in the sheet metal on all of these cars. So I hope you enjoyed the video. It's a great old car.